can't tell y'all? You tuning into the best morning show on the globe. It's Bradham and Emery in the morning, y'all. LeBron or Jordan, either one when I'm performing. Crossover, buzzer beater and I'm scoring. Bradham and Emery in the morning. Every play they on it. Every day I'm balling. Who's the coach? Who's the GOAT? Like Brady and Belichick, best show on the globe. And they embellish it. Y'all paying Ziffy, I'm Ken Griffey or maybe Mahomes. I stay in the zone, whether man to man or play in the zone. They can't stop me. Mayweather boxing, Curry with the shot, man. We just the best to be. Can we have our SB, please? This was meant to be. Every morning with Bradham and Emery.
Yes, sir. You know the vibes. Bradham and Emery in the morning. No Marcus Bradham, but I am Justin Emery. And it's spring training, so we had to go to the bullpen, call up our guy. Real Prince Blue. Real name, no gimmicks. Thank you for joining the show, my friend. How are you doing this morning?
Man, thank you for that introduction. It do feel like I got the call up. I feel like I've been in AAA, good batting average, but waiting, and I finally got that call. I'm here.
Well, I mean, I have a very good feeling it's going to be like when Ryan Howard hit the scene. I'm already putting my wager in for you to win Rookie of the Year.
Those are big honors. I appreciate that. Well, listen, like I said, when you went in the bullpen, it's not hard because Marcus is like I said, Marcus is like 6'4".
Yeah,
So,
he's a big man. He's a big guy.
Yeah, when you gotta replace somebody of that size and that magnitude, those are big shoes to fill. So I'm ready.
I love it. Let's get started. So today is March 9th. Might actually be warming up so I can go outside again. That'll be cool. It is National Crab Meat Day. It's also National Barbie Day, which is kind of ironic, seeing as how yesterday was International Women's Day. Today is National Barbie Day. I digress.
I had a joke, but I'm not sure I should throw that joke out there.
Yeah, I digress.
Go ahead.
Now, it is in 1959, the Barbie doll made its debut. So I'm sure that's why today is National Barbie Day. But I would be getting a lot of extremely angry texts from my co-host if I did not mention this. 1997, Los Angeles. Biggie is killed. It is the 24th anniversary of that.
By the way, his killer still has not been brought to justice, by the way. Let's include that.
Yes, has not. The entire Biggie Tupac thing, we're, 20, nearly 25 years later, and it's still not solved. As someone who has driven past the intersection where Pac was killed, many times, I've been at that exact intersection.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to tell me that you have not been able to find the killer. This guy was at the corner of Koval and Tropicana outside of MGM following a Tyson fight. I can't even walk down the strip in Vegas and looking at my phone without getting caught on camera or security looking at you. You're going to tell me that this guy got killed 2 blocks off the Vegas Strip and you don't know who did it?
Well, listen, for those who know me, I'm Mr. Conspiracy Theorist.
Well, then you're gonna wait until our guest at 10:30. Wait until you see it. He's got something for us. Whenever he drops the conspiracy theories, I prefer not to know ahead of time. But yeah, Tuesdays with Twitty, 10:30. We'll have a conspiracy.
Okay, so I'm gonna say my conspiracy theory for Tuesdays with Twitty because we may be on the same wavelength. So
might be.
That's what we call a tease in the business, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
gonna save mine then.
Now, man, last time I talked to you, actually talked to you for an extended period of time, it's been a while. What have you been up to the last few weeks?
Well,
hanging out.
I've been, I guess you could say that I've been on probation. I guess I've been locked up a little bit. ACOM, been in a Twitter jail a little bit.
Glad they let you out.
Yeah, they let me out. I got paroled. Been back on the scene a little bit. Been chilling out. Been getting acclimated again to how Twitter works. So I've been taking it slow day by day,
Speaking
hanging
of
with the family, getting real time off the ground again, and just doing little things, you know.
speaking of the way Twitter works, have you seen the new Spaces?
No, I have not.
So, it's Twitter's version of Clubhouse.
Now, for full disclosure, my wife had to tell me about Clubhouse because the only Clubhouse I know is Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. So, please explain.
So Clubhouse. Now I've never participated in in Clubhouse, but it's
Allegedly.
no, well, it's not so much allegedly. We can just run it. We can run and bank. We can bank that one. It's essentially, you remember the old like instant messenger chat rooms?
Yes.
Think that, but everybody via voice instead of text.
So, like the old chat lines
Yes.
on the phone when everybody could talk at once.
Yes, but I mean, like, there's different mute options from what I believe, so like the host can do all that. But apparently, that's now a thing that's being launched on Twitter, which means that you're going to have these people that have huge followings but nothing informative to say, holding court on the timeline.
So people that think they were important are going to now think they're even more important and yelling into a void.
It's a very accurate way to describe it. It's a very accurate way to describe it.
That's just what we need. More people thinking they're more important, yelling into a void.
Kind of like what's going on with the ownership of a certain football team right now.
Yeah. I told myself I was fatigued, but just like that meme on Godfather 3, just when I thought I was out, they keep
pulling
bringing
me back
in.
Love it. I've for weeks, anytime Carson news broke, I would just stare at Marcus and say, I don't want to talk about this guy anymore. I am done. But then things like yesterday happen. Prince, we all make fun of Jerry Jones for obvious reasons. He is the owner of the team, but he's also the general manager and vice president. Like, everything besides whatever title his son holds, Jerry holds every other title. He's de facto head coach as well. Let's just call it what it is. He is the de facto head coach as well. But at least Jerry Jones played extremely high-level college football.
Yes.
Okay?
He was rather good.
Yes. Say what you want about him and his emperor vibes that you get from him from Star Wars. His all of that, the Crypt Keeper. Take all of that aside. He still played extremely high-level college football at a high level.
Yes.
Jeffrey Lurie decided that he wanted to be a spoiled rich kid and buy the Philadelphia Eagles and make it his personal play toy. That's the way that I look at it.
Worst kind of owner you can have.
Like, because you've owned the team for, 25 years or so? 28 years, however long he's owned it. Just because you've owned something that long doesn't mean that you're qualified to make decisions. He needs to be the kind of owner who lets football people run his football team. Just because you've owned the team for 25 years does not make you a football person. I play a lot of Madden. Does that make me a football guy?
Yes.
Does it? I mean,
how many championships have you won in Madden?
Against a computer or a person?
Computer.
Undefeated. I ain't letting all Madden come in here and beat me. You kidding me? Stop that.
Well, listen, you know what Lurie strikes me as? He strikes me as the type of owner that he figures he owns a team and he looks around and he wants to be that owner that when he's sitting around with the other owners, he wants something to talk about other than him just owning the team. He wants to, because you can hear it in his press conferences. he wants to be that owner that's more than just the owner. That
Yep.
I know about a halfback crack play. I know that my left tackle was number 3 in the league against right tackles. But if you want to really know, other owners don't care about that. They want to know, hey, your team was number 3 in revenue last year. They don't care about your left tackle. He wants to come across as this know-it-all owner. And that's not what it's about when you're sitting around with the other owners. And somewhere along the line, he forgot that. Keep making your niche
Yep.
films and hire smart football people like Biscotti in Baltimore, like Seattle, like Arthur Blank. Say what you want. He hires his football people. They do a job. They run its course. He let them go. Bill Belichick. Say what you want. He hires his people. He gets out of the way. That's what Lurie has to do. But yet he does it the backwards way. He hires his people. He lets them do okay jobs. And then he tries to fix it himself. And then he still lets the wrong people stay in the wrong spot too long. And then you have this Groundhog's Day as a mess every single year.
Now, I mean, everybody, and rightfully so, was killing the team. Why was Howie Roseman still employed? Why does Howie Roseman have a job? Well, now you know. Because he is also a yes man. Like, we were sitting here killing Doug. Oh, Doug's a yes man for the front office and Howie Roseman. We're sitting here killing Sirianni. They hired a coach who's going to be a yes man. Well, a yes man hired another yes man. The quote, I believe, is anything the owner wants, the owner gets, is I believe, what Mortensen said.
Yes.
That's a dangerous precedent to set, Prince. It's a dangerous precedent to set.
Lurie is annoying. He's Jerry Jones, but he's trying to do it but come across as the everyday guy. Jerry's more in your face, like, this is my team. I bought it for far less than what it is now, and it's now the number 1 franchise in all America besides some obscure soccer team that's probably worth more than anything else, the Yankees, and then it's the Cowboys. So I get it.
Lakers, Lakers is up there, but you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right, though.
But I'm sorry, Lurie's trying to come across as, I'm hands off, but he's not. He's really not.
No.
And he showed it in all these press conferences. He spent, 2 hours during introducing Nick Sirianni? He was like, what are you talking about?
that was something else. Oh,
brutal.
The Dallas Cowboys are the number 1 franchise in the world to own as far as sport. This is the number 1 sports valued franchise at $5.5 billion. Number 2 is the New York Yankees. Number 3 is the New York Knicks. Number 4 is the Lakers. And 5 is actually Golden State.
Oh, wow.
Obviously off of the back of all those championships.
Right. Do you see how much Jerry bought it for?
Yes, it was. He bought that for. I'm getting 2 different numbers here. Let me pull it up. Jerry bought Cowboys. It was. Oh wow.
I know it's definitely a hold my sack number.
Yeah, it is. 140 mil.
See, now that's why Jerry acts the way he acts.
Yeah.
The guy, say what you want about him, phenomenal businessman, executive, football mind. We laugh at Jerry, but the teams are always talented.
Yeah.
It's just that when it comes to the football, I say the culture and coaching side of things, they always get in their own way. But far as talent, they're always up there in talent. Always up there in talent.
Yeah.
If
I
they ever just get it together as far as coaching, they're always going to be up there as far as talent.
Yeah, it's more than $1 billion than the next closest franchise, which is the New England Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
And we're stuck with an owner who is basically playing Dungeons and Dragons with a professional sports team.
He came in. I mean, let's think about it. He came into this.
He's playing Sims with a football team. He's playing
with the solar panels on the link.
Like he's playing Madden on a different level. Like we're all sitting here in front of PlayStation. He's sitting there in front of a stadium. All he is playing Madden on a much different level. Like that's just what it is. And every year that passes, it's just becoming more and more obvious that is the route that we're taking. And the NFL, you can turn a franchise around. You can go from bottom to top in 2, 3, 4 years. Look at when John Lynch came into the 49ers. They were a joke when he became the GM there. And he flipped the franchise around in 2 or 3 years. He was in the Super Bowl. Now they're perennial contenders in the NFC. You can do that in football much faster than any other sport if you have the right people in place calling the shots. Now, I didn't believe in Howie Roseman prior to hearing this report, and now I definitely don't feel that I can trust Howie Roseman because he's not even the one in charge. If they came off the draft board to take Jalen Reagor, I can only imagine what they're going to do to screw up the number 6 pick.
Think about Washington. Look at that defense.
Yeah.
Littered with first-round picks. Now they got Ron Rivera.
Yep. I believe their entire D-line is first-round picks. Their whole D-line.
First-round savages. And, we're going to drop Chase Young right there on the end.
I mean, they got Chase Young. They got, Montez Sweat. They got, can't remember, they got Jared Allen, the tackle?
Yes.
Yeah, they got two. They got another tackle, too. I can't remember his name, but they got Bostic, the linebacker. They got that defense. Defense is
and
a
we
problem.
got Barnett.
Yeah, we got Barnett. But Prince,
that bend.
But Prince, hold on. He broke Reggie White's record at Tennessee, though.
Yeah, because it's all about what you did in college and not getting these raw athletes and coaching them up, Justin. We don't. It's all about Harry College. I get it. You want to get people that accomplish something, but it's also about getting some phenomenal athletes and seeing raw talent and doing something with them.
Yeah,
it's like this. It's like all or nothing with the Eagles. It's like either they're going to get somebody that totally tapped out in college, or get somebody that's totally flying at the seat of their pants and can't do anything in the NFL. It's like so helter skelter with this team. It's like they literally make you like, how can you not like Jalen Hurts? But you cannot like Jalen Hurts by the way they set this kid up to fail, because they went all in with Carson. Then we're told to believe that Carson is this total butthole. Kick him out. They were like, Jalen is this leader among men, but he has a water pistol of an arm, and he's a mediocre guy. By the way, he was 4th on a lot of people's draft board, but he has a 1,000-watt smile. Well, is that going to win us football games?
No.
I'm so confused.
No, it's not. And I'm so tired of the sentiment that he has of where he's always trying to be the smartest guy in the room. Prince, let me throw out a hypothetical. Would you rather be the smartest guy in the room and continuously lose, or be the dumbest guy in the room and have all the championships?
The dumbest guy in the room in the championships.
I mean, let's get rid of this. Let's play chess while everybody else is playing checkers. Well, if everybody else is playing checkers and it's working for them, why don't we also just play checkers? Why do we always have to think 3, 4, 5 steps down the line? Why don't we just make the correct, logical decision now instead of trying to outsmart everybody and looking like an idiot?
I've said for years that this organization strikes me as the organization that I've often said that Howie doesn't like making moves because he doesn't want to come across as the owner as the executive that got fleeced. Like when you see, how many times have we seen deals like D-Hop go somewhere and we're like, why didn't Howie do that? Because I honestly believe he doesn't want to be that guy that they'd be like, I think the Eagles overpaid. He'd rather be that guy where they'd be like, man, Howie got a steal. He only gave up a 5th round pick for this guy. That's a steal versus, I don't know. I think this first rounder may bite them in the butt later on. He doesn't want to be that inkling of the joke's on you guy. And that's not how sometimes you may be that ha guy in the media, but what do they know? What do they know? If you like a guy, some people said you're stupid for doing what you did for Carson. But 2017 happened.
You don't hear any complaints then.
And we was on the upswing.
Yep.
But, it happens. People was laughing about Brady. Remember to Tampa Bay? Like, 45. Come on. He's like 40-something. Super Bowl. You're not going to please everybody.
No.
Do what you do in your bubble. Do what you do that works for your culture, your franchise.
And a big thing I think with Roseman is that other executives don't want to deal with him. He's alienated a lot of people within the league. Maybe also around the building, but being Jeffrey's right-hand man, we won't ever find out about that within the building itself. But I can't imagine that a lot of these teams, like Bill O'Brien for the Hopkins thing, we don't even know if Bill O'Brien was willing to take Howie Roseman's phone call. I mean, we don't know. Like
I think Howie's a snake, to be honest.
Oh, I know he is. I don't think he is. I know he is.
I think he leaks stuff to get the best deal. I think a lot of deals fall through because he tries to be the snake and fleece people. I think we'll be surprised how many players absolutely would have been here if he wouldn't have been trying to be a snake and try to fleece and get. He absolutely strikes me as the guy that would try to get D-Hop for a 6th rounder that can possibly be a 5th rounder if D-Hop gets 30 touchdowns in one season.
Yep.
That's the type of person strikes me as Howie Roseman.
Prince, are you a fantasy football guy?
I am not, but I like seeing people get upset when they don't get what they want.
So there's a you always have different types of players and things like that. There's definitely a type of fantasy football player, and there's a few of them in leagues that I play who will just send you countless trades. Some of them are so bad in the effort that you accidentally hit accept instead of decline. And that's what Howie Roseman, I feel like, does. He just sends out trades and says, all right, maybe they'll accidentally hit yes instead of no. That's what I feel like with this guy, because it just doesn't make a lot of sense. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. And this Chris Mortensen report that came out pretty much just clarifies what we all thought. Oh, I believe it. This is someone who has known Jeffrey Lurie since the late 90s.
I believe it.
Now, I know on this show we don't necessarily hold Adam Schefter in high regards on this show.
I believe you. I believe Mort's a Lurie guy, and I believe Schefter's a Howie guy.
Yes. So when Mort talks, we're much more inclined to listen than when Adam Schefter speaks.
Can I ask you something, Jay?
What's up?
This whole last year, and I get it because I see Adam. I've seen a lot of stories about him and his lovely wife and how he's bonded with his wife's daughter and things like that. But you also said something to me in the text. You said, I can feel sorry for a person, but still not like you. Adam has really came across as not a level 1, but a level 2-ish, maybe 3 D-bag to me this past year.
Facts.
The way he handles himself.
Yes.
And some of his reporting, especially when he be on some radio interviews, especially when he was asked about Howie and Doug, he was like, I believe that Howie would get a job immediately if he was to fire. Doug, not so much. And I was like, are you saying that as a fact, or are you saying it as an opinion from somebody that's getting inside information from a source that you don't want to rub the wrong way? Because he really came across like
See,
he
here's
was
the thing about Adam,
Howie.
in my opinion, about Adam Schefter, is that when it comes to national platforms, when he's on ESPN, when he's on Game Day Live, when he's on his podcast, when he's on Twitter, that's a better Adam Schefter. When he's looking at the league as a whole. When you bring him into a localized market, like this guy has 32 markets that are trying to get to him. I can't rely on his information about any one individual market to be that great because he has 32 markets that are trying to get to him. But when you give me his overview, I'm much more inclined to believe his overview stuff, his NFL as a whole, than, okay, tell me about this individual team. Because he does radio hits every week in Philly during the season.
Right.
How many other stations in other cities is he hitting on a weekly basis?
Ton.
He can be the smartest guy in the world. Like, I'm a big fan of Ray Didinger's football knowledge. Him on the radio sometimes, it's not. But his football knowledge is almost second to none. But only for the Eagles. I'm not going to go ask Ray Didinger about the LA Rams. I'm not going to ask Ray Didinger about the Seattle Seahawks. So Adam Schefter might have all these great people that he has contact with. And I believe, he's Adam Schefter. I believe he has contacts. If you think if anybody that says he doesn't actually have sources, you're kidding yourself. Like, he does have sources. But I can't rely on you to be gospel on all 32 teams.
Mm-hmm. My whole issue with Adam is he just comes off smug sometimes when it's something. I could just tell when it's somebody that he has in his hip pocket and he doesn't want to rub that person the wrong way. And I'm like, oh, ease back, Adam. Like, chill out. Like, he was real heavy-handed on Doug, trying to put everything that went wrong on Doug, and he was trying to absolve Howie. And I was like, and I sensed that a mile away. And it just came across where people was like, oh, Adam's about to be on the radio. And I was like, y'all really think y'all going to get some breaking news from Adam Schefter about the Eagles? He's not going to break anything about the Eagles on 97.5. Like, no. Come on, stop it. And all you people, you got to read between the lines. It's nothing to read between the damn lines. He's not going to give you anything. He's not. He's going to save that for his employer.
Yep.
Who is ESPN. He's just not. Like, he's not going to do it. But just during this whole thing, like, he's annoyed me. Like, I've just been annoyed to no end about anything Carson Wentz. It's like this whole saga has really, like, for anything, it's really made me root for Nick Sirianni, because it's like he's I don't want to say the victim in all this, but it's made me want to see him succeed, because it's like dude, you're in a no-win.
Absolutely,
And
no win.
I want to see you just get it done. Like, I'm excited to see, because I know everybody's going to laugh at our team and going to pick them to lose every week and going to be like, ha ha, Jalen Hurts pistol arm. He doesn't know what he's doing half of the field. His mad vision cone is going to be the size of a Dorito. So I want to see us come in and whoop up on people and shock people every week. And that's where I'm at right now with this franchise, because we don't have the right to be picked against anybody right now because it's so dysfunctional right now. And that report yesterday just summed it up again.
I could not have said that last part better myself. But we're going to get to a quick break real quick. And then on the other side, it's Tuesday. So we got our guy Twitty from Twitty and the Brand Show joining us for a great conspiracy theory. And we have another conspiracy guy online hosting with me today. So we could get into some interesting conversation on the other side. Bradham Emery in the morning, Marcus Bradham, Justin Emery.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys today about my friends at Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream. USA Today selected Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream as the best ice cream parlor in Pennsylvania. Uncle Mike's is a family-owned and dedicated to the production of premium quality and gourmet ice cream and sorbet, made fresh daily on the premises using the highest quality ingredients available. Uncle Mike's features over 30 unique delicious flavors offered in scoops, sundaes, shakes, and special order ice cream cakes and pies. Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream is located at 537 York Road in Warminster and is open all year round. Visit Uncle Mike's and let their friendly staff serve you happiness one scoop at a time.
Hey everybody, I want to tell you about Beef Jerky Outlet. 110 Lincoln Highway in Langhorne, right at the corner of Business Route 1 and Oxford Valley Road. Check them out online at beefjerkyoutlet.com/Langhorne. Use promo code BREMI for 10% off your orders. You can check out, they have all sorts of them. Everything you could think of beef jerky, they have. They have a ton of other stuff too. Spices, barbecue sauces, peanuts, all different kind of things. My personal favorite, the honey barbecue turkey jerky. Head up there. Sharon and Michael will take great care of you. Again, use promo code BREMI for 10% off your order at beefjerkyoutlet.com/Langhorne.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys about my friends at Amy's Pizza. Amy has a plethora of pizzas for your munching pleasure, especially pizzas such as Hawaiian, margarita, and taco. Taco actually being my personal favorite. And also plenty more. If it's sandwiches you desire, they've got those too. Cheesesteaks, burgers, hoagies, even gyros. Amy's offers pickup and takeout options. Also, they're available on Grubhub. Amy's located at 332 York Road in the heart of Hatboro. You can call them today at 215-957-1000. Again, that's 215-957-1000.
Yeah, man. Brandon Emery in the morning. No Marcus Branham, but I am Justin Emery. Got my guy Prince co-hosting with me today. And
Yep.
it's Tuesday. It's 10:30. You know what time it is. That means it is Tuesdays with Twitty with my guy Twitty from Twitty and the Brand podcast. Twitty, my guy, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing lovely, gents. How about you guys? You enjoying this heat wave?
Oh, necessary. Very, very necessary. Now, a lot of the time, you come up with these great conspiracy theories, and I love them, and you absolutely blow Marcus's mind with them. However, Prince is much different in that mindset than Marcus is. Prince wants all the conspiracy theories. So, he's been salivating at the mouth about this since I mentioned it to him. So, I want to get your streaming takes, but rather than have him wait any longer, let's dive into the conspiracy theory right out of the gate.
Well, I mean, I think this is actually a good day to have a fan of conspiracy theories here with us, because I went with something pretty bread and butter of the conspiracy theorist land. So when I say conspiracy theory, I think the first thing that pops into a lot of people's head is probably the assassination of John F. Kennedy. The theories have not stopped in the years since the Warren Commission submitted its final report declaring Oswald the lone gunman. But we're going to take a look at one specific angle today, because otherwise I would need hours and hours to really get into it. Did the mob kill JFK? So it's no secret the mafia and the Kennedys hated each other. Robert spent the better part of a decade trying to bring down Jimmy Hoffa and the Teamsters for alleged mob involvement, creating tons and tons of difficulty for their operations in many major markets. But he didn't succeed until his brother made him the Attorney General in 1961, when he finally managed to get some bribery charges to stick to Hoffa and several people in the organization. There are two primary schools of thought surrounding how events proceed from there. First, a lot of folks think mob members tolerated the Kennedys for years because they were so high profile, but turned to assassination once Robert finally managed to actually get Hoffa into prison. The second school of thought surrounds Cuba. The mob was counting on JFK to overthrow Castro and allow them to return to the casinos they had built in the early half of the century. So when Kennedy didn't manage to effect change, the mob was not happy, and they decided to retaliate. If you're a fan of Scorsese movies, you've certainly heard of Frank the Irishman Sheeran. In his book, I Heard You Paint Houses, Charles Brandt claims that Sheeran admitted to delivering rifles to Dallas 3 days before the assassination of the exact type and variety that Oswald supposedly used. The movie left this piece out, but they did include a line from crime boss Russell Bufalino concerning Hoffa's upcoming death. He says, "If they can off a president, they can knock off the president of a union," seemingly confirming that their syndicate, and especially Frank Sheeran, had some involvement in the assassination. While the final House report found no evidence of mob involvement, Robert Kennedy remained convinced that his actions may have brought on his brother's death, and lived with a not small amount of guilt for the remainder of his life, which, as we know, was not particularly long. And while the final report says that they found no evidence of organized mafia involvement, they were unwilling to rule out the involvement of individual actors on the mafia's part, however, outside of the actual leadership structure. And that is my report on the mafia's involvement in the JFK assassination.
Prince, what are you thinking?
That last part is why I think that they've been unable to link it to the mob, but been unable to totally dismiss it, because it did not come from the top. I think it was bought to the top. And remember in Godfather 1 when they went to the Don and they said, hey, I want to start selling drugs, and he said, no, we're not into that business. And then he said it could be very lucrative, and then the Don said, I don't want to know about it, but if you are going to do it, keep it to the animals and the blacks. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't.
I've never
wanna
seen The
know about
Godfather,
it.
so I don't know.
Oh, I don't want to know about it. But if you are going to do it this way. So I think it was one of those things. I don't want to know about it, but if y'all are going to do it, don't screw it up. So I think it was individual actors. So what's that? I always mess it up. What is it? Help me, Twitty. What is it? Plausibility,
Plausible deniability.
There you go. I don't know. I don't know what the people doing to me. How do you expect me to be responsible for 3,500 people underneath my membership? How do you?
Exactly.
How do I know what everybody else is doing? So I think that's why they haven't been able to link it to one. Because normally one person orders the hit. In this particular instance, it was said at the top, I don't want anything to do with that. I don't want that type of heat on my organization. Leave the Kennedys alone. People underneath them was like, no, I don't care what the top says. We got to do something about this. It's messing up our organization. It's making us weak. And it was individual actors that did it. I agree with Twitty.
Yeah, it's funny because like a lot of the Kennedy theories surround like a rogue faction of the government deciding to do it, and it's like, well, this is kind of the same thing, but on the mafia side, like it's not an organizational directive, but they're not going to be upset that the Kennedys are out of their hair, you know?
Right, because you can't move within. We've all seen the spy movies. You can't be a rogue within the government and still there be no fingerprints being left behind. But in the mafia, you know, if it's a faction within there, you know, those guys can keep that in house because there's no digital footprints. There's no somebody running their mouth or somebody having to tell somebody. So it's easier to do it within a rogue society such as the mafia than it is an organization as such as the government. So I'm with Twitty on this one.
The
Good one, Twit.
The grassy knoll will forever be tied to conspiracy theories. Now,
see, I took this route with the Kennedy ones. I figure I can get some mileage out of this. I can take like 5 different approaches to Kennedy.
Though,
Absolutely.
I was a little surprised on the 24th anniversary you didn't go Biggie.
I probably should have. I didn't think about it, and probably because I didn't watch that Netflix doc yet. So maybe
I have not either. I'm saving it for this weekend.
Yeah.
Well, listen. In full disclosure, since I'm here, since I'm the honorary brother today, I can. You want to know my conspiracy on that?
I'm into it.
You want to know mine on that one?
The
reason why you're not going to find either one of those the people responsible for both of those deaths, because both of the people responsible for those deaths was right next to the people that's no longer here. That's my conspiracy. They were sitting right next to him.
That
both wanted out.
When I did the Tupac one.
Yep.
And when you want out, there's only one way out. See, the rap game is run just like both of those guys were worth too much money.
Mm-hmm.
Too much money. And both, if you read the tea leaves,
Prince, you're speaking real dangerous right now.
If you read reports and you believe them, both wanted to leave, both wanted to start their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And both of them alone would have been very successful on their own. Both are arguably the greatest of all time. So if they would have left and started their own record label, there's no doubt in my mind they would have been CEOs to this day. So what do you do? How do you keep your revenue coming in? How do you keep their masters?
Yep. Now,
get rid of them.
Now, Twitty, you had mentioned in there in your rundown of the JFK thing, you mentioned Jimmy Hoffa.
Mm-hmm.
I actually saw last night a new documentary on finding him.
And new Hoffa doc? I feel like we get one of those a year.
Yeah. No, I don't know if it's actually new or if it's just new to me.
It's probably new. I would bet on it being new.
Fair enough. Heard a theory that I had not heard before about where he might be.
Oh yeah, lay it on.
So obviously we've heard he's in Giant Stadium. He's Where else? He's everywhere.
He's in Arlington. He's under the Washington Monument.
Yes, I've heard. We've heard everything.
I thought he was eating spaghetti in the witness protection program.
He's
Or
there
is
too.
that Goodfellas?
Yeah, he's
Is that
there too.
Goodfellas?
No, he's at all of them. I heard that he was placed into the trunk of a car and put into a car compactor.
I mean, that's a mob move. Like, they've done that.
And they interviewed somebody, I forget who it was, who claimed to have known someone that was, I don't want to say involved in the actual kidnapping and murder of him, but he had knowledge of it. He goes, if you go back and look, there was a reason that, like, I'm not a mechanic, but there was a reason that, this was missing out of the car. That was missing out of the car. This was missing out of his car. And the reason is because that is the car that he was crushed in. Apparently the heat from a car compactor is hot enough to melt human flesh and bone and all of that. To turn into nothing.
That level of heat, plus it's pushing it into dust, basically.
Yes.
Like, you're
That,
left with some human jello at the end.
Yes. So they said, if you want to get rid of somebody, put him in a car compactor.
Has there ever been a list? Has there ever been a top 10 list of the perfect murders? And will Jimmy Hoffa be on that list?
Oh, he's got to be on that list.
I would think so.
You think so?
He's got to be.
Will he be top 5?
I can't say that without actually sitting down to think about it, but I'd say
spend some time working on that
list
now.
That may be a good list, Squid.
See, here's what it is. You got him on. See, he's on Tuesdays. He's working from
love
home.
my lists, man.
He's working from home. Now you got the juices flowing inside of there.
That may be a good list.
Mike's barbecue is not open for lunch today, so he doesn't have to leave.
And I got all kinds of time in between those 15-minute bursts of work I do.
Oh, you got it. You got him. You got the juices flowing. What? Now I've recently over the weekend get to watch season 11 of the X-Files.
Nice. What'd you think?
It was good. It was good.
I think it was way better in season 10.
I agree 100%. But what do you have for us as far as streaming options this week?
All right. So I've been spending a little time just revisiting older movies I haven't seen in years, just kind of seeing how they hold up. And I went on a little bit of a Wes Anderson kick the last couple days. So I rewatched Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. Holds up 100%. It's a classic. Royal Tenenbaums, I also believe holds up incredibly well. One that I didn't enjoy as much as I did back in the day, I watched the Darjeeling Limited yesterday, and I can't say I enjoyed that one as much as I do the rest of the Wes Anderson catalog upon rewatch. But other than that, I'm just rewatching WandaVision to get ready for this week's Twitty and the Brand.
Nice. What do you have lined up on the show this week?
Where it's the full WandaVision discussion.
Full WandaVision?
Breaking it down top to bottom, T to B.
Now, is it the end of the season for that? Or is that why you're breaking it out? Or
yeah, it finished last week. It's most likely just going to be a one-season thing. Even if they do bring it back, it would have to be like years down the line after some of the other MCU plots develop.
And that drops this Friday?
Yes, it will.
Love it. Let everybody know where to follow you at.
Be sure to check me out on IG and Twitter at Ultron1321. Be sure to follow the show at Twitty and the Brand on IG and at Twitty and Brand on Twitter. And be sure to like us on Facebook.
Love it. Love it. Appreciate you jumping on here. You got Prince's Mind Blown. I'm sure that you are going to dive into that list. I'm curious to see.
Have to.
I'm going to have to get an update on it. Going to update on it next week. Oh, before I let you out of here, I got one more question for you. Will you be acquiring an Indianapolis Colts Wentz jersey?
Will I be personally purchasing it? No. As my dad already texted me that it's my birthday present, maybe.
As the show's resident Colts fan, I had to ask you that.
I will be owning one, but I will not be spending my own money on it.
As a Colts fan, you know what I just bought?
What?
I bought a Ross Chastain McDonald's snapback hat.
Wow. You got photos up of that? I got to see that.
Yes. Yes. Hang on.
Oh.
Think of that
Howard.
Sixers
We're
hat
coming
also,
in
by
for-
the way. Shouting out the
thank
unsung
you.
area codes.
Yes.
We're coming in for
Yes.
a landing.
484.
Hang on. We're coming in for a landing.
Oh, let's see what we got.
Can you see it?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
that is pretty sick.
I had to get, and it won't even be here until May. It's a
Ooh.
special item.
Yeah.
That would have been great to have when we were talking about the founder last week, Jess.
Prince, I need you to text me that link.
He disrespects the Big Mac. Wait a minute. Did you pick the Whopper or the Big Mac, Justin?
Oh God, the Whopper. I don't want my sandwich to have an
remember.
extra piece of bread in it.
Right. You picked the soup that is called the Whopper over the Big Mac.
I mean, that's fair. That is fair. There are a lot of condiments on that thing. There are a lot of condiments that come on the Whopper. That is a very fair point. Very, very, very fair point. No, but yeah, on the Twitty and the brand last week, we discussed the founder. So we were diving into all things McDonald's.
Michael Key,
Justin
underrated.
was pulling out some deep
Underrated.
cuts on the McDonald's history lesson.
Oh yeah, I was. The thing is, I had time last week. In between slaying fake beat reporters, I had time to get some things ready for
Well,
for the founder.
when you could get your degree in 2 years, you have a lot of time.
Facts.
To
Big
do
facts.
things.
Big facts. But Twitty, appreciate you jumping on, and we'll keep an eye out for the
Big
podcast
T.
this Friday, and we will talk to you same time next week.
You got it.
Appreciate
Pleasure
you,
as
T.
always.
Love it,
All right.
love it, love it. So that was our Tuesday Twitty, as usual, every Tuesday at 10:30. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and on the other side, we're going to dive into some Sixers first half action, some NBA first half action, and Prince and I got some awards to give out. Yes, sir, we got some awards to give out. Brown Emery in the morning. Marcus Brown, I'm not here, but I am Justin Emery, and we will be right back.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys today about my friends at Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream. USA Today selected Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream as the best ice cream parlor in Pennsylvania. Uncle Mike's is a family-owned and dedicated to the production of premium quality and gourmet ice cream and sorbet, made fresh daily on the premises using the highest quality ingredients available. Uncle Mike's features over 30 unique delicious flavors offered in scoops, sundaes, shakes, and special order ice cream cakes and pies. Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream is located at 537 York Road in Warminster and is open all year round. Visit Uncle Mike's and let their friendly staff serve you happiness one scoop at a time.
Hey, everybody. I want to tell you about Beef Jerky Outlet. 110 Lincoln Highway in Langhorne, right at the corner of Business Route 1 and Oxford Valley Road. Check them out online at beefjerkyoutlet.com/Langhorne. Use promo code BREMI for 10% off your orders. You can check out, they have all sorts of them. Everything you could think of beef jerky, they have. They have a ton of other stuff too. Spices, barbecue sauces, peanuts, all different kind of things. My personal favorite, the honey barbecue turkey jerky. Head up there. Sharon and Michael will take great care of you. Again, use promo code BREMI for 10% off your order at beefjerkyoutlet.com/Langhorne.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys about my friends at Amy's Pizza. Amy has a plethora of pizzas for your munching pleasure, especially pizzas such as Hawaiian, margarita, and taco. Taco actually being my personal favorite. And also plenty more. If it's sandwiches you desire, they've got those too. Cheesesteaks, burgers, hoagies, even gyros. Amy's offers pickup and takeout options. Also, they're available on Grubhub. Amy's located at 332 York Road in the heart of Hatboro. You can call them today at 215-957-1000. Again, that's 215-957-1000.
Yes, sir. Branham Emery in the morning. No Marcus Branham, but I am Justin Emery. Got Prince Blue, real name, no gimmicks. Friend of the show. On here with me. And start of hour 2. And we got to dive into some NBA. Prince. We got in 48 hours, we got the Sixers second half schedule kicking off.
That's a clap, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm clapping my hands,
Yeah,
everybody.
he's going 10-9-8 76ers, right?
10-9-8-7 Sixers. Shout out to
So
John Marks.
so the Sixers right now at the halfway point after the All-Star break are sitting atop the Eastern Conference at 24-12, half a game ahead of the Brooklyn Nets.
Hold on, Jessica. Can you say that one more time?
Yeah, of course. So at the halfway mark following the All-Star break, with a record of 24-12, a half game up on the Brooklyn Nets, the Philadelphia 76ers have the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference Final at the halfway mark.
Wait a minute. The Brooklyn Nets with 3. Wait a minute. The Brooklyn Nets with James Harden.
Yes.
Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, and now Blake Griffin.
Those Brooklyn Nets are one and the same with the second place Nets right now. Yes, you would be correct with that statement.
Okay,
yes,
I just wanted to make sure.
Nope.
Okay.
No. Well, I'm really big on clarification on the show, and I appreciate you pointing that out. But you are correct with that. The Nets, I will say that again, are currently in second place in the Eastern Conference. Albeit simply a half a game, but if the playoffs ended today, the Eastern Conference would have to come through Philadelphia.
Okay. All right. Perfect.
Now, if anybody said that they saw the Sixers having the chance at the 1 seed before the season starts, they'd be lying to you. I thought they were a top 3 seed. I thought it was going to be Brooklyn. I thought it was going to be Milwaukee. I thought it was going to be Philadelphia. Probably in that order. I thought it was going to be Brooklyn 1, Milwaukee 2, Philadelphia 3, with the potential for Miami to be 3 and Philadelphia to be 4. I don't think anybody saw the Heat making it to the finals last year and then barely looking competitive this season.
I would say you're correct.
I can't imagine very many people saw, suspect but 2-time MVP Giannis kind of looking like another big man. He's just another big guy. And no one saw the Sixers taking off, being the top seed in the East with potential MVP caliber and multiple Defensive Player of the Year caliber guys on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
This season is such an indictment against Brett Brown.
Don't say that name. Don't say that name.
It is such an indictment against Brett Brown.
It not only is it an indictment on Brett Brown, it's an indictment on I was going to say the Eagles.
Oh, it is. It is. Everything goes back to an indictment on them.
It's an indictment on the Sixers organization because they were a year, maybe
it
even
snows
2
in
years
March.
too
It's an
late
indictment on the
Brett
Sixers.
Brown. It was an indictment on the Sixers organization because they were too late on Brett Brown because they arguably wasted a year of Embiid's prime and a year of Ben Simmons' development because this Sixers, what we're seeing right now is a team that is accountable.
Tell him, Prince.
In shape, mature, angry, pissed off, and buying into a coach that believes that they have another gear and that they haven't arrived.
Yeah.
The Sixers team under Brett Brown believe that they can just come in based on name alone and beat trash cans and wound up getting beat by those trash cans. This team here competes every night, and if they get beat, you see it, and they know where they messed up at. And that next night, you see those issues fixed. I rarely see this team come in and make the same mistakes over and over and over as they did under Brett Brown.
I mean, so like I said, they have 24 wins. I can think of at least off the top of my head, half a dozen of those games that they won last year they would have lost.
And I could think of 3 or 4 games that they were screwed for the COVID issue
Yeah,
that they shouldn't have played.
the Denver game.
Absolutely shouldn't have played that game.
That the fact that they had to play that Nuggets game is, I mean, obviously as a Sixers fan, I'm annoyed. But that was the first, now something that we had talked about on the show 2 weeks ago is that you're starting to see some dents in the NBA PR armor. For the longest time, Adam Silver and everybody in the league offices at the NBA was seen as, I don't want to say untouchable, but that they had a whole lot of leeway. They gained a lot of support in the court of public opinion. But you're starting to see that chip away. This All-Star game should not have been played. And not only just because of the Sixers thing. They should not have had the All-Star game, period. Number one. Secondly, you have players on every team now coming up with positive tests. Every single team. The Spurs had a 2-week break. How long were the Wizards off for? Weeks.
Yeah, like 2 weeks.
But the Sixers had to play the Nuggets with 7 guys. That was the very first domino, I think, to fall in the NBA and their COVID Season 2 response.
I think that was the first time where I noticed that Adam Silver, for the first time, was tone deaf in his tenure, where the money outweighed. It was bad. It was bad. It was a bad decision.
I would love to know what. Now they'll never make it public. You'll never find out. But I want to know what the NBA is feeling financially right now, because there almost no arenas had fans in it prior to the All-Star break. Yeah, you had courtside Karen yelling at LeBron in Atlanta, but for the most part, I can't really recall any other arenas having fans in the stands.
Except they have like ticket owners and stuff like that.
Yeah, they got like the corporate sponsors and all that in the building. Yes, but like your everyday fan,
no,
they're not in there, and so that's got no ticket sales is a massive hit to the league. But I'm really curious as to what the bottom line looked like, to where Adam Silver was sitting down with their TV partners. What was it? I believe it was TNT played the game.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I would love to know what TNT said to them. If you don't give us this inventory for All-Star Weekend, you're going to have to pay us back for us buying the rights to the All-Star game. Was that price too high for Adam Silver? And clearly by having the game, the answer is yes. The answer is yes if you had the game, because you didn't want to pay back the network. But I would love to know what that figure was. I would love to know what the figure was for All-Star Game. Because, they buy the contract rights 5, 6, 7, 10 years down the line. So when they purchased the rights to this All-Star Game, they thought they were getting the whole All-Star Weekend. They thought they were getting the dunk contest and the skills challenge on, Friday. They thought they were going to get the celebrity game and the Rising Stars game on Saturday, or whenever they have that. And they thought they were going to get in Sunday the game itself. They had it all condensed down into one singular day. They didn't get the branded parties that you get with the sponsorship that's backed by the NBA. You didn't get any of that this year. So TNT is sitting here across the table looking sideways right now at Adam Silver. Where's our product that you promised us? We paid you $130 million. Yeah, I'm making that number up, but I'm sure it's probably not that far off. I paid you $130 million back in 2014 for this All-Star game. How are you going to make that up to me?
And I think Adam said, you know what?
Oh, crap.
He not only did he say, "Oh crap," but you know what he did say? He said, "I got these boys, and I'm paying them a lot of money, and I'm gonna hit them where it hurts, their wallet, and I'm gonna let them know, hey, you guys want more money? You're crying about money, you're crying about this and that, and you want more power, and you want more of this, and you want more of that. You got to play this All-Star game. You got to help me help you. And during the next negotiations, this is what you're looking at. More money, shorter years, more time to move around, do what you need to do. Give me this All-Star game." And they did it. They bitched and complained, and he gave them that leeway to do so.
Yep.
And they played the All-Star game. Because at the end of the day, Jay, what is it all about?
Cash money.
Cash rules everything around me. Dollar bill, you know. That's it.
Absolutely. Like it's if you ever want to know why any All-Star game is played, it's always for money.
Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
What's the other sponsor? AT&T.
Like, when was the last time? And I'll tell you the answer before I ask the question. The answer is never. But when was the last time that the Pro Bowl was relevant?
Never.
I don't even do. And this is going to come off as sounding extreme.
No, wait a minute. That's not true. I think it was when Sean Taylor popped the punter.
That was legendary. 2006. 2005? 2000.
God bless Sean Taylor.
Yeah, 05, 06, something like that. Now, this is going to come off as extremely disrespectful to the NHL. Does the NHL have an All-Star game? Like, I don't know. I'm not trying. They do? Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to get killed by a lot of people for saying that, but I legitimately didn't know that.
They do.
Okay.
They do.
And I know baseball has an All-Star game, and for some reason their All-Star game actually matters for something, and it doesn't make any sense. Like
it chooses home field.
Yes, we don't have enough time left in the show for me to get into all the problems with Major League Baseball. Like, Major League Baseball, I need a whole week.
Why do you get so upset with Major League Baseball? Why do you get so upset, Justin?
It's just, it's like watching a bunch of idiots sit around a table and just stare at each other. Like, nothing gets accomplished in Major League
They're
Baseball.
billionaires.
When I was in college, I needed to take an extra history class to fulfill some requirements. And I was just like, they're like, you can literally take any history class you want. As long as the course qualifies as history, you can take whatever you want. I said, all right. Looking through the course catalog, I see the history of baseball. All right, let me check this out. Now, at this point in time, the Phillies are in the middle of their run, like the run. So I'm thinking, man, this is great. I can learn about like the old school Phillies. Like, they're going to get another World Series. No. False. I had to learn about rounders and Spalding and all that other crap that doesn't really matter to today's baseball. But for some reason, these owners and the baseball purists still think that something that happened in 1904 is prevalent in sports in 2021. Now, we often joke on the show that if Marcus played in the NBA when Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain played, he'd be a 6-time All-Star. Because that's the competition that those guys were playing against.
First of all, he'll be a center.
I think we had him playing the 3. He revolutionized the 3. Yeah, I believe we had him playing the small forward. He revolutionized the 3 position back in the late 60s. That's the story that we're rolling with. But it's the same stands for baseball players in like the 20s, 30s, and 40s. These guys were out in the coal mines and then coming home from that and going to play a baseball game. I mean, I bet the radar guns were tipping at 65 miles an hour. Whoo-wee! Watch out for them 30-mile-an-hour sliders.
Listen.
Be careful.
Listen.
I'm gonna get killed on Twitter for everything I just said. I know that. We got a lot of older school fans that listen to the show that are
pure. The game is pure.
Yeah, they're gonna kill me for this. It is what it is,
pure,
though.
Man.
But I mean, let's be honest. The best part about the All-Star Weekend is the 3-point contest.
It was beautiful. It was. Shooting has what Steph Curry has done for shooting. What Steph Curry has done for shooting, Dr. J did for the dunk.
Ooh,
And
that's
I
a great
stand
analogy.
behind that.
I'm saving that one. I'm writing that one down.
I will watch him shoot. Him and Dame. I will watch them shoot. I will watch him shoot. They personally saved. If I'm Adam Silver, I'm sending them thank you cards. Him and Dame Lillard. I'm saying thank you. And I will send one to Bradley Beal too. Thank you, Steph. Thank you, Dame Lillard. You saved my ass.
Yeah.
Because you put on a show that made people forget, what are we doing here? We're cheering something that should not be happening right now. He, like I said, he's making a 3-point shot the dunk right now.
Yeah.
His showmanship, his class with it. He has a little swag with the shot. Now it's like if Steph boogies on you, if Dame boogies on you, it's like a poster now. Like, yo, don't let Dame boogie on you. Now you'll give him that shot. Like, you don't want him to, like, you'll let him shoot. You know how you let somebody drive by and dunk on you? Now you'll let him shoot that because you don't want to close up on him because you like, man, he boogied on me. Don't let him boogie on you.
Yeah, I watched like almost none of the game because it just.
Yeah, 170 to 150. Like,
I don't care. Now, back to the first half about the NBA. Do you think that this pace can be kept by the Sixers in the second half?
2 words. Dal Morey.
Oh. Now, have you taken a look at the schedule for the second half? It is a much tougher schedule.
And can I say something about that? When did the NBA schedule become like the NFL? Because when the schedule was released, people was like, the Sixers have a rough schedule. And I was like, is the Tampa Bay Bucks on it? I don't look at this.
The Sixers' second half schedule is extremely difficult in comparison to their first half schedule. Actually, hold on. Before I get into that, I want to discuss the final game of the first half. We didn't get a chance to discuss this prior. The Utah Jazz coming into the Wells Fargo Center.
You mean Donovan Mitchell and the Jazz?
Yes. Is there any team in the NBA that fears the Utah Jazz in a 7-game series? I mean, if you think about this Sixers team, okay, is there a single team that you worry in a 7-game series if you have the whole full healthy Sixers roster? I'm not worried about the Lakers in 7 games.
No.
I'm not worried about the Nuggets.
No.
I'm not worried about the Jazz.
No.
Now, going off of past history, I'd have to worry about the Celtics, but the eye test is telling me not to worry about it right now.
No.
Brooklyn, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's a lot of star power, but I actually think that the Sixers stack up well against Brooklyn. They can throw bodies at them defensively to slow them down. I think that Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant. He's going to do Kevin Durant things every game. But I think that Ben Simmons can slow Kevin Durant down and make him look like an above average player and not a top 10 player all time. I think that Matisse Thybulle can be thrown at Kyrie Irving or James Harden to slow them down. And then you have the ultimate rim protector in the NBA right now in Embiid. Tobias Harris, though not a great defender, is a willing defender.
He's a good defender.
Yes, he's a willing defender. Seth Curry as well.
I think Tobias, yeah.
You know, and on the other side, even with the addition of Blake Griffin, they do not have a single person who can guard Embiid.
No. I stand by what I said. The Nets are pretty, but they don't want to be touched. We've seen it. We've seen Harden in Houston. When the playoffs come, all that flopping and all
Doesn't
that
work.
stuff, he hates it. He hates when you're up in his grill. So you put a Thibault on him. Hell, Matisse starts getting minutes. You put somebody that can get some fouls, that can afford some fouls, that can get up on you. And like I said again, Daryl Morey.
Yes.
Do I think they can keep up this pace? Yes, because I believe he's going to make a move that's going to get another 3-and-D guy, get a younger guy up in here that can defend, that can shoot, and I believe it's going to add some more juice to this because I believe that this is when I want to say that Doc is going to give these guys some rest down the stretch within the game and stuff, but I'm also in one way thinking this is when we're going to need our superstars to be superstars.
Yeah, and you might be missing them for the first few games when coming back out of the break because of obviously the COVID protocol, but you might not miss them.
The report said that if they're testing negative,
they've been
so
testing
they may
negative.
be available Thursday.
Yes. Now, you have a back-to-back coming back Thursday, Friday. So you got to assume that if they're gonna miss the Thursday game, they're probably gonna miss the Friday game as well. Now I know it's not a guarantee, but usually with a back-to-back turnaround like that, they're not going to try to shove them guys in there for the second half of the game. For the second game, we'll just wait, take the Saturday, get them back into the rotation after that. I would say
even with the long rest.
Yeah, I would say because of the health and safety protocol. If this was just like a regular injury, no, you'd want to get them in there the second game. I think that I just think that I'd be hard pressed to believe that if they're going to miss Thursday's game because of this, that they won't also miss Fridays. I'm not a doctor, nor am I involved in the NBA handling of this thing, but that would just be my assumption from it, that if they're going to miss Thursday, they'll also miss Friday.
Real quick, Jay, I would say this. Until they can do better with this vaccination, I would say this whole I know that the barber he's an NBA barber. He does well in the community and things like this. But until this vaccination thing is handled, I think they may need to go back to where the whole barber thing is a no-go. Because it seems like this was an issue in the bubble as well. Like, these players are
the bubble was a little different because they actually brought barbers into the bubble and bubbleized barbers, I guess we'll call it.
Bubbleized barber, BD.
Yeah, but this was just, a barber in the city somewhere that they just happened to go to. I'm sure that most athletes in an individual city all go to the same maybe 3 to 5 barbers. I'm sure that in any, maybe it's more than just 3 to 5, because there's a lot of pro athletes in the city. But I'm sure that there are a select number of barbers, or fill in any service like that. I'm sure that athletes' wives, for the most part, go to the same salons. They're not going to just there's going to be certain places that have that level of clientele. When they're sitting in the locker room and Embiid goes, "Man, I need a haircut. I want, my guy's not around." Simmons goes, "Oh, you should go check out my guy." There's only there's only so many people. But Dame, did you hear Dame Lillard's comments in regards to this?
I did not.
Now I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember his exact quotes, but he basically called Embiid and Simmons selfish for going to get haircuts.
Oh, I did not hear that.
He didn't say it wasn't like he didn't use the word like selfish. He didn't say it word for word, but you could, from the gist of it, you could tell that's what he was saying. And he even comes out and says, typically All-Star game, he's like, we all go out and get fresh cuts for the game. We're all trying to look good. Like Marcus had pointed out yesterday, Iverson first debuted the cornrows at an All-Star game. So he was like, typically we would be doing this. I can't believe they did. Now, I don't know if Dame got his barber license in the last year or so. He was looking kind of fresh himself. I don't want to pass any judgment.
Yeah.
He was looking pretty. He was looking. Yeah. His hair wasn't looking crazy. His hair was not looking crazy.
Maybe he shaped himself up.
I'm not saying. I'm not like.
I got you, but that's shocking that he said that. Yeah. But some guys are feeling really strong about this COVID thing. Like, don't put us. Like, if everybody else is doing the right thing, like, don't be stupid. Like, some guys really feel strong about this COVID thing. So I get it. I got it. I get it. I understand it.
But, a big thing is I believe Dame has a newborn at home.
Yeah.
So
does Embiid.
Well, I was going to say, but so does Embiid. Like, that argument for, if that is the argument that Dame is using, to support his stance, it stands for Embiid, too. He has a newborn at home as well. And real quick before we go to break, to put a bow on the first half of the season, one team I am worried about, though, in a 7-game series is Portland. And not necessarily because of anything they've done in the past or anything. I just think that some teams you just don't match up well against.
2-guard play always gives this team issues.
And I feel like Portland, they've lost both times they've played to Portland this year. Now, I understand there's just 2 regular season games, and that doesn't necessarily translate to the playoffs. But you have teams that you just don't match up well against. I think that the Sixers are a great matchup for the Nets. Lakers, not so much. I just think that Portland could be one of those teams that gives the Sixers an incredibly difficult time. Luckily, the only time you'll see them, though, is in the NBA Finals.
That's why I said the most important man is Daryl Morey.
I agree.
That's why I love that he took this whole half. He didn't come in making a whole bunch of changes. He took this half to say, okay, this is what we need, and he's gonna make it happen.
I agree. Before we go to the break, Blue, let me ask you. You're giving out the MVP for the first half.
Come on.
I want. Let me hear you say it.
Joel Hans Embiid.
He's your MVP for the first half. Love it.
He's my MVP for the first half.
First half, defensive player.
Benjamin Light-Skin Simmons.
I wanted to just make sure that we were on the same page with that moving forward. On the other side, we'll take a dive into the second half, and we will give our projections for the season awards. I'm with Prince at the first half, and we'll see if we're still in agreement on our awards at the end of the season. Okay? Yeah, we'll see. We shall see on the other side. Bradham Emery in the morning. No Marcus Bradham. I'm Justin Emery. Prince Blue, real name, no gimmicks. We'll be right back on the other side. Yeah, man. Brandon Emery in the morning. No Marcus Branham, but I am Justin Emery. Prince Blue co-hosting out of the bullpen with me today. Yes, sir. So we just got done giving the review of the Sixers in the NBA first half. Like I said, 48 hours. We will be getting into the Sixers' second half schedule. Much more difficult than the first. But that's why you need to beat the bad teams. You need to beat the opponents that you're supposed to beat. And you can go into a difficult second half of the season with the number 1 seed. Now, Prince, let me ask you. With the Nets only being half a game behind them in the standings, and now having Harden seems to be figuring out his place in the lineup. They've been gelling on the floor, and Durant returning. Do you still think the Sixers can hold on to the number 1 seed?
Again. And I know this is a cop-out. Dal Morey. One more. They need one more piece, and I say that because the Nets haven't had Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant changes things dramatically. You're adding a top 5 player to a team that's already stacked.
Yeah.
I will be a fool and hypocritical to say that doesn't change anything. It's not like they're adding Robert Covington back to the fold. They're adding a 7-foot sniper to the fold.
Yeah. I mean, you're adding one of the most efficient scorers ever.
Of all time.
I mean,
a 50, 90, 40 guy.
Yeah, like, the thing is, if Durant can score, he can score 25 points on 10 shots. No.
Easy.
12 shots, 15 shots,
Easy.
Like, because
no sweat.
And he's also a guy who can put up 20 and a quarter. Like, there is very, very few things that on a basketball court that Kevin Durant cannot do. Very few things. Most of them on the defensive side. But I'd be lying to you if I thought the Sixers were to come away with the number 1 seed. Even the thing is, even if they get another piece, don't get me wrong. I want the top seed. Like, this team has the best record over the last 3 seasons at home. There is a decisive difference with this team at home versus on the road. Though at home, because everybody knows basketball is a game of runs. You go on runs, they go on runs. You come back, can you answer the run? They answer your run? At home, with that crowd, those 10 to 12 point runs become 15 to 18 to 20 point runs. That are on the road may only be 6 to 8 point runs, maybe a 10 point run. So I don't know if I've seen a team that needs home field or home court advantage as bad as this team does. The confidence that I have goes through the roof when this team is at the Wells Fargo Center.
Now, let me ask you something. Does that alter? Because mine is altered. Before, my confidence was shaken with the Brett Brown factor.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I feel much more confident on the road because I have a coach that knows how to use a freaking timeout. That doesn't get lost watching the game and knows. I've seen this team up 30 or up 20. The other team makes 2 threes. The doc immediately calls a timeout. He's like, no.
That's an extremely fair point. That's an extremely fair point. But going back to what I had said about the Celtics, history tells me that I can't trust it right now. The eye test tells me one thing. Like, I look at it, and everything you just said makes complete sense and is totally totally on point for how you should think about it logically. But then you just factor into what did I just watch on the road for the last 3 seasons, though.
Yes, I got you. I got you.
Now,
history is doomed to repeat itself.
Yes, until I can see otherwise. It was like everybody knows Peyton Manning is arguably the best regular season quarterback ever. It took him a decade to figure it out in the postseason. So until you show me, I have to assume that you can't. Not that you won't, that you can't. Because you can try and fail. If you try and fail, that doesn't mean you won't, it means you can't. And as far as my athletes go, I don't want guys who just want something. I want guys who can do something.
Right.
Like
I want to defend, but can you do it?
Yes. Yeah, yes. Like, Jalen Mills. I'm sure he wants to tackle somebody. I'm sure he wants to hit somebody. Doesn't mean he
I want to turn and locate the ball.
Yes. So that's just the way that I look about it. I've been so scorned by them the last few years. It's like the boy who cried wolf. Yes, okay. Well, now I don't believe that you can win on the road. So you have to play every game at home now because I don't believe it. So prove me wrong.
I got you. So, and to answer your question, I believe they're going to be 1, 2, 3. And I say 1, 2, 3 not because they're going to play bad, but because I think that Embiid is going to – I don't think Embiid's going to play enough games in this second half for them to keep up this pace.
We're thinking on the exact same wavelength. So right now, the top 8 seeds in the Eastern Conference are Philadelphia, Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Boston, New York, Miami, Charlotte, and Toronto. And you got Chicago in there, tied with Toronto, but due to tiebreakers and whatnot, Toronto has that 8th seed. Are there any teams in there that you do not think will hold on to their spot?
I don't believe in the Knicks.
Okay, the current 5th seed.
Current
5th seed. Now the Bulls are only 1.5 games behind them. 1.5 games behind them, and the Bulls are currently in 9th. Now, I believe are you familiar with what the play-in seeding thing is for this year? Are you familiar with that? Okay, I'm not either. That's why I was asking. But I believe that there's seeds 8 through 10 or something can do or 7 through 10 are going to do like a mini play-in game or something like that. I don't know the exact rules, but it's similar to how how they invited 22 teams to the bubble last year for 8. It's going to be something similar to that, to where the 9th and 10th seeds are going to have the opportunity to jump the 8th seed for the playoffs.
The reason I don't believe in the Knicks is because I believe that the Bulls have the best player out of all those bottom feeding teams. I believe that Levine is just ready. So
more so than the Heat. I mean, the Heat have been decimated this year. It's
just something off about them this year. The injuries, it's just...
There's something just not right.
It's just something that's not right, but
I hear you.
Can't count out Pat Riley and that. They're just they're so battle tested, and Jimmy's a dog. But it's just something
off. It's just something's not adding up. Something's not adding up.
Something's not adding up because I've been waiting. I don't know, man.
I feel the same way about Boston. I feel like there's something not right there. Tatum, I don't think that his highs are not as high as what people made it out to be 2 years ago. Like people made him out to be, he was going to take the mantle from LeBron. I don't think he's going to take the mantle from LeBron after that, but Tatum's a 25-point-a-game scorer. Jaylen Brown, 25-point-a-game scorer. Why do you have two guys who average 25 and you're not above the 4th seed?
They don't do anything else for everybody else, if that makes sense.
I think it's they try to do the addition by subtraction, but instead of letting it stand, they tried to make another addition. I think they should have let Kyrie go, as they did, and not bring in Kemba. I think this team would be a better flow. And I'm not sitting here pretending I'm not a Celtics fan. I'm not sitting here trying to champion for them. But what's wrong with them, I think, is Kemba Walker. They're trying to force a square peg into a round hole. And
so who would be there then? Who would be that third person?
They'd have to go and figure like. The thing is, when you don't have Kemba Walker, then you pursue other avenues. Like they signed him, and then just assumed, okay, our point guard position is now set it and forget it. And I'm not sure Kemba was the guy to set it and forget in that position, because he's a ball dominant point guard. Kemba needs the ball. Now he doesn't necessarily need to be scoring; he needs the ball in his hand. You know what having two 25-point-a-game scorers hate? A point guard that has to have the ball in their hand. So that's what I think is wrong with that team. And I'm not sure that Kemba's going to be... Like, Kemba's not a long-term answer there like Brown and Tatum are. And I think that Danny Ainge will eventually figure that out. And I'm worried that the window will close. This is, I think, the best chance that the Sixers have to win a title since the process started. Like this season. Like you were waiting for LeBron to get out of the East. Now, you didn't expect KD to come to the East. But that's fine. Because for as great as KD is, he is still not LeBron. I want to say that again for everybody listening. As great as KD is, he is still not LeBron. You put LeBron on this Brooklyn team instead of KD, I'm putting the title to my car on Brooklyn to win the chip. Like I still think Brooklyn should be the favorite, but if you put LeBron on this team, it's different. Because like I said, as great as KD is, LeBron is the definition of willpower. Like, he will just will you to a championship.
I still think the Sixers beat Brooklyn in 7 now.
I don't think the Sixers need... So, as long as they can keep one of the top 2 seeds and don't have to draw Brooklyn until the Eastern Conference Finals, I like that. I don't want to draw Brooklyn in the second round.
No.
I want to.
I need them to have 2 series under their belt before they see Brooklyn.
Yes, that needs to be the conference finals, because you gotta assume that based off of if the top 4 teams blah 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 win all that moving on, that you will draw Toronto and Boston as your 2 matchups. I like that. Give me that. Whereas the Nets will draw. The Nets will draw the Hornets, and then the Bucks. Now, I'm not. They're gonna shred. They're gonna shred the Hornets. I'm not. Let's just call it what it is.
I want a harder first rounder for them.
But here's the thing: do they really want to be chasing around LaMelo Ball?
LaMelo? No.
So here's the thing.
And
Like
I'm in there in Charlotte. He's a demon.
Charlotte will lose the series. I don't think they're a great team, but LaMelo's annoying. Like, there's guys, LaMelo's annoying to play against. I'm sure Terry Rozier is annoying to play against.
Yeah.
I'm sure Gordon Hayward is annoying to play against. Now, you can beat them. But that's annoying. Do you really want to deal with a team that just rains down threes? Even if they're missing them, you don't want to have to deal with that. Because what if there's a night where they decide they're not missing them, that they're going to fall?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you got Kyrie, who I've on the record as saying he's got the best handles I've ever seen. Harden and Durant are legendary scorers. I would not classify any of them as 3-point shooters.
No.
They're offensive guys.
They can shoot the
They can
three.
shoot the three, but they're not 3-point shooters.
Right. They're volume scores.
So, Prince, give me your Eastern and Western Conference matchups that you project to happen. Now, I'm pretty sure we know what's going to happen in the East. Let's hear what you got on the West.
As far as the Western Conference Finals?
Yes. Who do you think will be the two teams standing in the West, two teams standing in the East? Like I said, I'm pretty sure we know you got Brooklyn and the Sixers, I'm assuming, in the East.
In the West, I have the Jazz and I have the Lakers.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So you're taking Jazz over Clippers and Nuggets?
Yes. I really like the Jazz.
Do you?
I really like
okay.
them. I really like them. I really like them. As much as
Talk to me.
they
Talk to me.
whine and they bitch and complain, because it all ties into my wars when we get to them. Quinn Snyder, if you look at them, they're fun to watch. Their sets, the way they defend, the way they attack you in multiple ways. They come at you in waves. They come at you. They don't turn the ball over a lot. Like that last game, that was out of character for them. How much they turned the ball over. Like he always has them well coached. They're top 1 and 5 in defensive rating and offensive rating. That's hard to do. I got them, and then come on, you got LeBron, and then you got AD. I mean, you got those two, and then the reigning defending champions until somebody knocks them off. And then Bubble George just ruined me. Bubble George.
Fair enough.
Bubble George ruined me, yo.
That's fair. He happened to a lot of people. He ruined a lot of people.
He ruined me, and then the way he talked about Doc on the way out, he ruined me, dog. He ruined me.
I'm a little surprised that you're so high on the Jazz.
Mm-hmm.
I actually thought that you'd be going Lakers Nuggets. If I had to take a guess, that's what I thought you were going to go with.
I'm gonna tell you why I didn't go with the Nuggets, because Jamal Murray didn't take that leap out of the bubble that I thought he would. So
Fair.
It's just your cold. It's just the Nuggets are that team that people keep trying to sell me on, and I'm like, show me. They want them to be that team so bad. It's been 3 years, and I keep seeing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over. Second round exit, second round exit, second round exit. Oh, they're MVP Jokic, MVP Jokic, MVP Jokic. I still see second round exit, second round exit, second round exit. Show me.
I mean,
so I got Lakers and Jazz.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I think that if the Nuggets get hot though, that the Jazz won't be able to hang with them. Like, I feel like similar to how I said that, like, there's certain good I feel like the Nuggets and the Jazz in a head-to-head matchup, the Jazz can't handle the Nuggets.
I agree with that, but it's just something about the Nuggets makeup. When it gets tight, they're weird to me. And the bubble proved that. They're weird to me.
That's fair. No,
you saw that game. Look how people laughed at them. They had a chance to win, and look what they did in crunch time.
Oh, I laughed at them hard.
That's makeup. That's mental makeup. That's basketball IQ. That's mental fortitude.
Yeah. No,
I can't see the Jazz
I dragged them
doing
for a
that.
while. I dragged them for a while. So I'm gonna have to, like I said,
that's my Western Conference Finals.
I'll give you the Lakers. I'm there with you. I think it's gonna come down to Lakers Nuggets to the point I just referenced. And I think that when the Nuggets inevitably have to play the Jazz, the Nuggets will not.
Talent. You love that talent. Tell the truth. You love that talent. The Nuggets.
They got. I mean, I hate when people choose things off of potential. But, like, on paper, the Nuggets should stomp a lot of people. On paper, they have a problem.
Yeah.
Now, I mean,
they're a problem.
Up until this year, I wasn't really a big believer in Joker. But this year, he's turned me into a believer. Now, I still don't think he can hang with Embiid. I think Embiid still eats his lunch. But the things that Joker can do, like, he's an unconventional center. So he will give Embiid problems, even if I don't think he's better than Embiid.
Mm-hmm.
So
he gives Embiid problems because Embiid actually has to defend his offensive game. Offensive centers, they don't give Embiid problems. They frustrate Embiid because he can't rest on a defensive end.
Yeah, he can't just sit back and protect the rim.
Like he do a Gobert,
yes,
a Drummond, like guys like that who need like they do knick-knacky things around the rim. Like Joker, he has to defend. Like who's another offensive center?
I mean, he's not a center, but Anthony Davis. You know, same thing.
Anthony Davis. Like you have to. You have to defend their game on the outside.
Yes.
Cousins, people like that, where you're like, okay, you want to do moves out here? God damn it, I got to go out here.
Absolutely,
people like that. Yeah.
Absolutely. So we got a few more minutes before the show wraps up, and we're getting into the important topics for today. Now hold up, I gotta get my bow tie on. I get my bow tie ready. I hope you have your bow tie and your suit on because we have an award ceremony to attend, Prince.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay. So, we have our projections for the NBA awards. So, I will read you down the categories that we are giving away, and then I would like for your candidates. So, we are doing MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, Sixth Man of the Year, Most Improved Player, and Coach of the Year. So, Prince, give me your NBA 2021 MVP.
Joel Hans Embiid.
Okay. Now I understand why you would take him, and I had taken him, as I said, at the second half, or at my halfway point MVP. However, I do not have him winning the MVP at the end of the year, based that I do not believe he will play enough games in the second half of the season, and that is why I could not give it to him. While I think he could be, could and should be deserving of it, I have a hard time giving the MVP to someone who plays 50 games.
Okay.
So my MVP is actually going to go to LeBron.
No! You're giving him the Lifetime Achievement Award.
I mean, I might as well give it to
You're giving him the Susan Lucci Award. No!
Yes, I'm giving it to LeBron because, number one, if he lost AD and they're still one of the top teams in the West. Secondly, I enjoy seeing greatness and seeing accolades stacked. So if my guy Embiid can't get it, just give it to LeBron. If my guy can't get it, give it to LeBron. And number
Space Jam
three.
reboot sucks.
And number three. I do not think that the Nuggets will have enough team success for Joker to be worthy of having it. So, next up, we have the category of Defensive Player of the Year. Prince, who are you giving this award to?
Benjamin Lightskin Simmons.
You're not getting any arguments from me on here. I believe that he should be the front runner, and unless he falls off the second half, it should be his award. Marcus said a couple weeks ago that the NBA gives this award out a year late than who should usually get it. And Simmons should have gotten it last year, and this will be his makeup season to receive the Defensive Player of the Year. I am with you 100%, Prince. I'm giving this award to number 25. Rookie of the Year. I kind of think it might be a one-man race.
Yes. LaMelo Ball.
Agree 110% with you again. I thought he was going to be good. I thought he was going to be better than his brother. I didn't expect him to be this good this quickly. Now, let me say, he is far from a finished product. He's very raw. But he will be a perennial all-star in this league. Health on his side.
He's box office. I'm here in Charlotte. He's Larry Johnson-ish, where he's I can never say that word. He's reinvigorated.
Rejuvenated.
He's re-energized this fan base.
Yes.
There's LaMelo Ball jerseys everywhere here in Charlotte.
I believe it. I'm right there though with you. It's LaMelo Ball's award to lose. I'm not even sure an injury could take it away from him at this point.
No, he's phenomenal.
Yes.
He's box office.
I agree. And I have to say I've greatly changed my outlook on his family the last few years.
Yeah. His dad, phenomenal father, loud, but I have a great respect for any positive black father out there that's doing positive things with their kids. And I mean, if a black dad is out here putting his kids in the NBA and making millionaires and teaching them to have a businessman and king mentality, sign me up any day of the week on a personal level and for the culture.
Just don't challenge Jordan to one-on-one.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know.
Sixth man of the year, Prince. Who do you got?
Jordan Clarkson.
Ooh. Showing the Utah Jazz some love.
Yes. He's averaging close to 20 points a game. Eye test too. He's instant offense. And
he is instant offense.
And Donovan Mitchell can legit take a rest in the offense, and he's very efficient. When he's in, like the offense doesn't skip a beat. So yeah, Jordan Clarkson.
Now, admittedly, I did not pick a sixth man of the year because I was not familiar with really any bench players because I think the majority of them suck. So I'm going to just side with you on Jordan Clarkson. From everything I know about, like the box scores and everything, he's getting my vote too, Prince. So good job campaigning for him. If he wins it, he should definitely send you something. Most improved player.
Jaylen Brown. Dude went from an athletic defender wing to now I'm like, this guy is just shooting threes, breaking people down, telling Ben Simmons he's too small after scoring on him. He's up 6 more points on his average. Eye test, he's just on a different level. He's actually making people question, why hasn't Jason Tatum improved off of last year? That's how you know he's improved his game. People are now looking to him for offense with the Pacers. With the Celtics.
That's a great pick.
I could have went Christian Wood too, but I went with Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown.
That's a great pick. Now, I know he won't get it, and he's not my pick for this, but I think that it would be disrespectful to just not point out the improvement that this is the best Embiid the NBA has ever seen.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to get the award going from 24 points to 30 points a game because you're already averaging 24. You're not going to get that. But I think that people need to definitely realize and look at what the improvement Embiid has made. But I'm going to actually go to the Western Conference and give it to the Joker.
LeBron James.
No, the Joker. I was ready to write this guy off. Like, just completely, like, he will never be a good NBA, like, fat, sloppy, out of shape, Jabba the Hutt looking dude like Stephen A. Smith described Kwame Brown.
Slovenly.
Could not have been more wrong. So, he's just like Embiid took his conditioning and all of that into consideration this year. I gotta give it to the Joker.
He still looks weird with that weight loss. It's like no muscle. It looks weird.
He looks like the bad guy from Moonraker for James Bond. And then I know that we're gonna definitely have opposite answers for this, but Coach of the Year.
Might as well stay in that state where polygamy is legal.
I wouldn't necessarily say legal, but it's definitely not necessarily frowned upon. Anyway, I understand why you're saying that. Best conference or best record in the NBA, harder conference, best all that. I'm actually going to go with Steve Nash.
Okay.
Because he has been put into an extremely difficult position dealing with all of those egos in Brooklyn. You're in the number one media market in the country, and you're a first-time head coach.
Look at his staff.
Yes. But it doesn't matter if you... Is Steve Nash in the Hall of Fame as a player? I don't know.
Not yet.
Okay.
I don't think he was eligible yet.
No? Okay. Well, I take away the name that he is a potential Hall of Fame player, 2-time MVP. There is not anything desirable about being the Brooklyn Nets head coach right now. Every day you got to go to work to deal with Kyrie, Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Blake Griffin. What screams to you about, hey, I love my job? What part of that? I mean, yeah, you got great players. You need a whole bottle of wine to go to bed every night.
Especially with Kyrie Moody, but...
So, I got to give it to Steve Nash just because of the uphill battle he was given. So, but what was that?
No, I said I give you that one. That's a good one.
But that pretty much puts a bow on this show. Prince, my guy, appreciate you jumping on here. This will not be the last time. Let everyone know, if they don't already, which you must live under a rock, where can they follow you at?
Oh man, you can follow me on Twitter at RealPrinceBlue, at RealPrinceBlue on Instagram, just Prince Blue on Facebook, Real Time with Prince Blue. Just set your notifications whenever I drop a show. You'll be available. I have a show tonight live at 8 p.m. It's going to be good. Justin, thank you for the call up. Marcus, I hope I did you justice. I hope I made you proud, my man. Appreciate you. Congratulations. Thank you. Can't wait to do it again. Thank Thank you, man. I'm just happy that you called me, man. I'm excited. Whenever you need me, I'm here, buddy. I appreciate it.
For sure. Like I said, this will not be the last time. Follow Marcus everywhere at Marcus B. Tweetin, but only follow me on Twitter at Justin Emery Show. Follow the pod everywhere at Brad and Emery Pod. The merchandise store is active. Check it out at BradandMemoryShow.com. Check out Beef Jerky Outlet Langhorne. Use promo code BREMY, BREMMY, for 10% off your order. And until next time, you can either be with us, you can be against us, but you're never going to stop us. Late.